Alright, what's up everybody? Pretty much I want to make this video because I want to go a little bit more over the HMA, which is the Hall Moving Average. I tweak things up a little bit so that it follows and confirms the trend even faster. And I also added one more HMA to pretty much the strategy. Originally we were using two of them, and the parameters slash length was on 5, and then the second one was on 10. Now there's a third one and it's on 20, which shows the long trend, and I'm gonna show you guys what exactly this looks like. And I'm gonna show you how to follow and pretty much find like legitimate trades and whatnot. And I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. All right. Also, I want to show you guys this candle counting method that I came up with. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. And I wrote some guidelines for that, and I'm gonna show you how this kind of works. So real quick, I'm gonna pull up the guidelines, and then I'll give you a visual on what my TOS looks like. All right, so let me find that real quick. In a second, y'all. Probably should have did this before I started recording. So if I go here, all right. So the candle counting method, if you read this information, I'm also posted in the group chat. Pretty much I came up with these guidelines, all right? Now we'll go over this second. I'm gonna show you the HMA, and then I'll show you the candle counting method, all right? So the HMA, the Hall Moving Average. Oh yeah, I changed my my TOS setup just so you guys could all see. But this is how I'm trying to dissect the market now by having all these charts on a single market and then follow those, right? But right now we're gonna focus on one. So we'll start right here, obviously, okay? And this works on old charts, so this should be able to help you guys out, okay? So this is the 1 minute on the AUD JPY, right? Now trends are your best friend, and the bigger the valleys, the better, all right? So pretty much originally on the what the HMA does is the Hall Moving Average, all right? We have a video on this already, but this pretty much confirms the trend. I was teaching you guys about wick space and whatnot, and this, wick space still applies on this. But the problem with just with wick space and replication was, yes, you know how to pick your entry points, but knowing that much, that doesn't really necessarily confirm the trend for you. Once you know the trend, like the direction of the market, now you know on how to pick your entry points. Here's an example. If you know this candle's going up because the trend says that it's an uptrend or whatnot, then anytime that the market pulls back and it's a negative candle, but it hasn't closed yet, you know the market's going to come right back up. So even if it dropped in pips, you would take a call and you would use those pips as your strike rate. And that would help you win your trades, right? Same thing if the market was going down. Like up here, it'd be a downward candle. You see that wick when it decided to pull back on a 1 minute. Now, if you know that the trend is going down, use the wick space method, because right here you see market came up. That's why it has a wick. I would have took this as a put because I know the market's still going down. So I would have used those pips. I would have took that. All of a sudden, follow the wick space, I would have won that trade. So what these lines mean, okay? I have 3 Hall movement averages, and they look like this. If you look at my studies, it's 1, 2, 3. It's all the same indicator, but I have 1 on 5, 1 on 10, and 1 on 20. All right. Now my 5 is the exact market movement. Like everything that the market does, it's the green and the red lines. This thing follows the market 100%. As soon as the market's in a downtrend, my line turns red, and it's cluttered right there. So let me see if I can find some bigger activity for you guys. It'll be easier to. So some bigger hills and valleys. All right, works. This is good. All right, so you see there's some green lines in there, it's cluttered lines, but all of a sudden, downward trend starts. And you see how this line is red along with those red candles. All of a sudden, the market turns green, so my line turns green. So this follows the exact market movement. Then this is a red candle. This goes all the way down. Yes, there's a green doji in between, but there wasn't a whole lot of activity for it to change the direction. So you know market's still going down. So anytime my market's going down, my line turns red. When it goes up, my line turns green. That's just the 5 parameters, so that follows the market movement. The second Hall moving average are my blue and my purple lines. That's the 10 parameter. This shows a longer term movement of where the trend's really going. So purple lines mean the market's going down. Blue lines means the market's going up. And as you can see, my two lines correlated with each other. All of a sudden it turned green, this one turned blue. Then it goes red again, this goes purple. All of a sudden, these two, green and blue, this is red and blue because the trend hasn't officially changed yet. All of a sudden it's red and purple. Now you know, all right, I can take a trade. When you're using this method, you only take trades when your trend lines, the colors, match each other. All right. If they don't match each other, like right here on a blue and red, that would be a fake out trade and you would lose. Because right here you think the trend's going up, right? All of a sudden you see red and blue. Now you don't know what to think. You get a doji and you get fucked over. You lose that trade because you don't know what the hell's going on. Also, when the lines are all cluttered like this and you really can't see a whole lot of activity, don't trade. Because the closer these lines get, the smaller the candle activity. Look how small all these candles are. How do you think you're going to get a good strike rate with small candles like that? You have no idea where the market's going. You can hardly even tell what the trend line colors are. So anyways, the third Hall movement average, that's the 20, all right? That shows an even greater direction on where the trend goes. It's harder for this line to move as easily as the 5 and the 10 do. So this shows you where the long-term trend is going, okay? So pretty much whenever my 5 and my 10, my other two Hall movement averages are the same color and they swoop in and like a gap, you see like a pocket is closing, right? These things match with my indicators down here. And we already know these are this road looking thing, these are the Bollinger Bands. Whenever these things cross, we know for a fact that that normally the trend's going in that direction. Now, if you look up here, look at this. It's green, it's crossing through, but it's 1, 2, 3. These things match up. And you know the market's coming up, so those are some trades you would take. Whenever your 5 and your 10 Hall movement average crosses that yellow line, guaranteed uptrend. Now I have some parameters as how to follow this thing, right? That's when you confirm the trend. And how do you confirm the trend? Well, number one, when you see that first candle and it's green and blue, right? We know until this candle completes forming. What I mean by forming is this is a 1 minute chart. So you gotta wait 1 minute for that candle to close. If this would have been a fake out candle, could have came down, the colors would have switched again. You don't know if that's a true trend change or not. But whenever the candle closes and it hits that yellow line, you know the second candle more likely is going in that same direction. If you don't think that's enough, if you don't think that candle is enough, because sometimes the colors don't change immediately on that first candle, then use the second candle as confirmation. Because if this candle would have came down, then obviously it's not a true green and blue uptrend. It would have changed colors to like purple or red or something like that. Then that lets you know it's a fake out trade. If this candle confirms and it's still green and blue, then at the top of the next candle, that means a couple seconds before this one closes, take that up trade, all right? And then you count the candles. Now, if you follow my guidelines on the 1 minute candle, it says once the trend is confirmed on 1 minute charts, take a 5 minute trade in that direction. These are turbo trades, so it's the riskiest of the bunch, and it's small charts. But if you look right here, right, it says 1. All right, you see, oh shit, it's an upward trend and it hits my yellow line. But I don't know if this is enough activity, so I'm going to wait for this to confirm. I wait for my second candle to close, which will close right here. And right before it closes, I decide, all right, I'm going to take my uptrend because it's more likely not going to come back down. So I'm taking that uptrend. That means I would start right here on the new candle. Look at this. Count 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is still higher than your entry point because your entry point was down here. You would have won that turbo trade. You follow? So this little gap came in, touches your yellow line, you know, oh shit, it's a trend change. And it matched up with your indicators. So that's a good enough idea right there, right? My parameters on my MACD HLC, they originally were on 7, but I changed them to 14 because this shows when the trend is really starting, right? This thing changed white as soon as all this matched up. It hit my yellow line. This thing changed white. And white means it's an uptrend. Purple means it's a downtrend. So everything matched up. That lets me know, oh shit, it's a good time to take that trade. But I literally waited 1, 2 candles for it to confirm because I didn't want no fake outs. I started right here, counting my 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I win that trade. Now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the next legitimate time, right, to look for a trend change. Now we know the bigger these bands are, the Bollinger Bands, the bigger the candle movement. The smaller these bands are, the smaller the candle movement. So even if I see this hits my yellow line up here, right, and then I'm using my second candle to confirm the trend, yes, I can do that. But look how small these bands are. So you're thinking, oh shit, I could get screwed over. I might lose this trade. The only thing that you would pay attention to is though, if that confirmed that it's purple and red and it's a downtrend, look at your indicators. It's green, it's about to cross through the Bollinger Bands. And then down here, instantly a purple line started. Whenever these white lines and cross over the yellow, that's guaranteed uptrend. Whenever the purple crosses the yellow, that's guaranteed downtrend. But literally, if you just get in when all these things match up, it's going to go in that direction. You won't get faked out as easily when you're using this thing down here. And when it all correlates, that lets you know. So even if you came right here and you waited for that to close, now you know it started on a purple and red trend. What happens? Count the candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would have won that trade. If you would have waited right here, like if you would have came at the top candle right here and waited for that to confirm, you would have started over here. You count 5 candles, you're going to lose. So literally, you just match up your indicators. And as soon as that thing hits that yellow line, now it's time to consider, oh shit, it's probably going to go on that downtrend. But then you use your second candle, which is right here, to confirm the trend. The lines were still purple and red, which means downtrend's happening. So you start at the top of the candle. You don't want to miss that entry point, because if you wait a couple seconds and it shoots down too fast, look what happens. You would have lost, because that's the high right there. Oh no, this is your 5th candle. So yeah. So you want to hit that quickly, because if you shot down way too fast and you came in like right here, you would have lost that trade, because that's where your 5th candle would have ended it. So at the top of the candle, that means as soon as the minute starts, start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You win that trade. Then you wait for the next trend change. Look at this. It's white. It's going to cross the Bollinger Band soon. This one starts white, right? That was red, actually, so my bad. But you know it's going to cross the Bollinger Bands if it's a trend change. This is white. That lets you know it's uptrend starting. So you use this, right? So it's 1. It's green and blue. This one right here, right? You're going to be like, all right, I need to confirm that second candle. Or you can just hit it at the top. If you hit it at the top, yeah, it's still a downtrend, so you didn't confirm it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would have won if you follow that indicator. Now, if you take that and you're like, all right, I just want to confirm the uptrend, wait for this to finish, right? All of a sudden, it closes up here, hits your yellow line. You're like, all right, it's a guaranteed uptrend because it hit my yellow line and it finally closed. So take your trade at the top of that closing minute, right? That means you would start right here. Count 5 candles. Immediately, you're losing for 3 minutes. But look what happens at the end of your 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This ends higher than your entry point, which is right here, because you took it at the top. All you did was follow the trend. You just won that trade. That's 3 wins that we have so far, just by counting candles on the turbo trades. Just 1 minute. So you're taking that second candle to confirm, then you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just won. So let's try the same thing up here, right? So all of a sudden, all right, purple and red, right? You see it's a downtrend. You wait for the second candle to confirm. You go right here. It's purple and red. It hits your yellow line. You're like, oh shit, all right, it's perfect time. So you would start at the top of the minute, which would be right here actually, because you ended here. So you start right here at the top of the minute. Right? You take that trade immediately and you follow the trend. I don't give a fuck if it's a green candle and you think it's going to go up, follow that trend. All of a sudden, you're immediately losing for 2 minutes, but look what happens. Count the candles because you took it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would have ended down here, you would have won your turbo trade. That's 4 wins in a row on turbos. You follow me? So all of a sudden, you get down here, you see it's getting close to that yellow line, but you're still in a downtrend. And it's a sideways market. Never fuck with sideways market. Yes, you can get lucky because this shit was sideways. They had a couple heels, and then this is just straight sideways. You can get lucky, but the bigger your pockets and your gaps, the bigger the heels, easier your trades are. Because this shit right here, the lines are all extra cluttered. You can't tell what the hell's gonna happen. There's no trend confirmations or anything though. Because this says purple and red, or hell, I can't even tell the colors. Colors are all fucked up right now. It says like purple and red, but it hit the yellow line. So I have no idea what the hell's going on here. So I won't even trade in it because you can't tell. It's just downtrend. If anything, you see these long ass purple lines and downtrend, you could pretty much just keep trading in that trend and win some trades. But I'm just doing swing trading. I'm doing swing trading. So I'm just going with the trends and shit. So then look at this down here, right? Because this is still sideways market in small ass candles. So your indicator is green right here. Bollinger Band is, it's going to cross eventually. And this matches right here, the white line, right? Now, there's two ways to look at this one. If you follow your indicators and come in on that candle, you'll win your trade because you count 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would have won that if you came in there because you would have just followed the indicators. But if you use this method, plus it hit the yellow line, so that's another thing too. Because it hit the yellow line and you saw the indicators, or because it was close to the yellow line and you knew it was going to go in that direction, and you see your indicators, if you took that trade, count the candles, you would have won. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you use the confirmation method on the other side, look at this. You would have started right here, and that would have been what? Let's get right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So holy shit! Wait a minute. 1. Would that end? That would have ended. I can't even tell because the counters are so damn small. Hold up. Let's see if you would have won that trade. So, damn, I just lost my spot. I gotta see that though. So we came right here. So that's 113. All right. So it would have been, you would have came right here, which is, what's that price? 94.56. This is, where is it? I can't even see. Shit. 94.56. Well, so that would have been, because top of that candle. 94.56. 94. So literally 94.56, bro. You count that 5 candles by confirming the trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would have actually tied that trade. That shit's crazy. You would literally tie that trade though, bro. And that's just by counting candles. Now you're seeing, all right, it's getting out the Bollinger Bands. The candles are still small still. I'm just gonna wait for some bigger movement. So you come all the way down here and you just wait for the next confirmed trend change. You see a doji. Dojis show imminent reversals are gonna happen, right? But look at that pocket. It swooped down. The yellow line's still going in that direction. So you know there's gonna be a quick swoop. It's gonna be a swing, right? Look at your indicators. It's red, but it's about to go in that direction and cross through it, right? But then your white line appears out of nowhere on the doji. I don't know why it just zoomed over there. But your white line, which shows the market's about to go up, appears on the doji. So what happens? You do this, right? You already know it's going to go uptrend. Now, if you follow the indicators, yes, count 5 candles, you're going to end up here, you're going to win. But if you do the confirmation, you'll still be straight. It's green candle up, right? Oh shit, touching my yellow line, that lets you know a trend's going to change. It's green and blue, right? So that shows uptrend. Use the second candle as confirmation. Comes down in pips, but it's still green and blue. So you know, oh shit, I'm still going to follow Asher's principles and still take that up trade, right? So you start at the top of your next candle, which is right here, right? So you count 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You still win the fucking trade. You're just counting candles. So far we have 4 wins and 1 tie just by using this method. Look over here. So you see this big ass gap and shit right here, right? That wasn't really much of a swing right here, but you think, oh shit, I can take that trade down Or hold up, if you follow the indicator right here, and you look at your Bollinger Bands, so if you follow that, you can be like, oh shit, all right then, I'm gonna just follow the indicators, take my trades, start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it immediately hit the yellow line or as close to the yellow line. So you saw your indicators, you're like, oh shit, okay, I'm gonna just take this and I should be straight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would have won that trade because you follow your indicators. Now, if you use my method, use a second one as confirmation, right? Then you would have started all the way down here. If you would have took that downtrend and just followed that shit, you would have lost horribly because it was another swing. But let's say after that loss, now you're at 4 wins, 1 tie, 1 loss. You're just gonna use the next method, right? You see it's coming back to the yellow line. Yellow line's still in the uptrend, right? You're gonna use a second candle as confirmation. Or actually, if you follow the indicators, it's white again, so you can just take that shit and win that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if you use the second candle as confirmation, that's another thing too, man. If you see that white line and you see that next one still going and it's a green and blue, almost to the yellow, you can kind of get that. It's just risky though. But if you see this one right here and it hits that yellow line, take that entry point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You win that trade. If you use that second candle as confirmation, even though you just missed 3 because you didn't come in at your indicators, you would have started right here. Count those candles. So what is this? This is 94.54, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 right here. You would have tied that trade too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you come in at the top of that candle, so that means literally in the last couple seconds, come in on that trade. Because if you waited a second, if you would have went up 1 pip, you would have lost from the start. So you take those. You take those on top. You don't miss those entry points. 5 candles, you would have won that shit. I mean, you would have tied. So it's still not a loss though. So I'd have been 4 ties. No, 4 wins, 2 ties, 1 loss. But you see how easy this shit is though, just counting candles. All you're doing is confirming the trend, and if it hits those yellow lines, then you can trade in that direction. But if you want to confirm the trend on the second candle, wait for the second candle to close and just start counting. You'll be straight. Right? So this is 1 minute chart. Works on all charts. Let's look at the 5s. So same shit, all right? So let's see. Let's look for star right here. So this is your white line right here. You see that white line and your indicators, both of those match up. So if you follow the indicators, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because on the 5-minute candles, I do 6. I count 6 candles. And that's on the list right here. So you go back here. 5 candles, take a 30-minute trade in that direction. So you would have took 6 candles. 6 times 5 is 30. So if you follow the indicators, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you would have won that trade. If you use confirmation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's too long. You would have lost that trade on a swing like this. Matter of fact, if you do the 5 or if you do the 5 candle count or the 4, you might be straight. I do 6 because I noticed the pattern. But anyways, so down here, right? So let's see. That's the first candle hits my yellow line, and at the same time, my indicators match up. So I would have literally, so if you take the indicator trade and you start at the top of the indicator trade, then what you would have did was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 95.32. Hold on. 95.32. That would have been a tie right there. But if you would have waited for confirmation on that second candle, and this is how you know, when it hits those yellow lines, you could either take it there, you could either follow the indicators and you would have been straight. But if you wait for that second confirmation, sometimes you do miss it. But if you would have waited for confirmation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you would have lost that trade horribly. This is all uptrend, right here, white lines and stuff. Same thing right here. Hits your yellow line, but now you're waiting for confirmation. You see this right here, still hit the yellow. You're like, oh shit, it might be legit. 1. So you go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You thought it was a downtrend, you would have lost that shit horribly. This is sideways market. Look at that shit. So sideways market is the worst, man. So if you're fucking up on sideways market, wait till you see more gaps, more hills and valleys. This shit right here, that's all sideways. Like this is finally down. So look right here. It's red and purple. Here's that yellow line. Use the second one as confirmation. Now you're coming at the top. 1, 2. Oh, and then look right here. So all of a sudden, my indicators match up again. Purple and red. Everything matches up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You would have won that trade. All of a sudden, it hits the low. All of a sudden, it's green and blue. You want to use that as confirmation. But look, your indicators, they all match up. So if you would have came in here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you would have won. Use this as confirmation. All of a sudden, you're coming at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You would have won. So if you want, you could either confirm your trades or you can just follow the fucking indicators. Like this right here. Doji shows imminent reversal, but match your indicators. It all matched up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is this right here? 5-minute candle. 5 minutes. Do you think it's really going to shoot all the way up? Probably not. You're going to win that trade. If you use confirmation, which is right here, then you come in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you still gotta wait 10 more minutes to find out. But you see this yellow line is going down. So more likely it's gonna be a downtrend. And you would have won that trade too. 5, 6. Let's go look at some more examples. We'll even go further back. So let's see. This is downtrend, right? So you see purple, you see red and blue. So you don't fuck with it. All of a sudden you see purple and red. Okay, wait for the next candle to hit. So it'll be right here, right? And if you look at your indicators, the purple started right here. So if you follow your indicators, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you would have won. You wait for confirmation, you start at the top, you come in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2. If you waited for the confirmation, you would have lost that trade. If you follow the indicators, all of a sudden you win. It's also sideways market. Let's look at some 15s though. 15s, I say count 4 candles. And those are nice because those are big ass valleys and shit. That's cool. Oh, see, you see this gap? Because the further away that these lines are from the yellow, the better the strength. So let's look at this right quick. All right, so it's coming up, coming up, coming up. So look, these are green and blue. That's uptrend. That's purple and green. That's fake out. All of a sudden, this shit right here is purple and red. You're like, okay, interesting. Then this is purple and red. That's confirmation. Look at your indicators. Purple line starts up. Everything matches. You're like, oh shit, it's a good time, right? If you follow indicators, you count 4 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won a trade. If you wait for confirmation, 1, 2, 3, 4. You still would have won that fucking trade, right? Down here, same shit. So first one, if you follow indicators, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won that trade. Plus he hit the yellow. If you use this second candle as confirmation, all right, coming at the top. So instantly you're losing. But look what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Would have ended right here. You still would have won that trade because it's higher than that. What does my list say? 15 minutes. Count 4 candles because 4 times 15 is an hour. Look at this shit. 30-minute candles. 2-hour trade. That means count 4 candles. So if we go here, 30 minutes. So, all right, so right here. So if you follow indicators, it was white, green, 1, 2, 3, 4, you win a trade. Plus it went through the yellow. If you use second candles confirmation, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, still win that trade. Same thing right here. That's red and blue. Don't fuck with it. It's purple and red. Look what happens. It's red. Purple line shows markets going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won that 2-hour trade. You use this shit for confirmation right here, right? Come to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. You still win that trade. You guys seeing a pattern here? All of a sudden, lines are getting closer and closer. You see this pocket. You get tempted, but you don't know. So let's see right here. All right. If you follow indicators on this one, you would have lost 1, 2, 3, 4. If you use this as confirmation, came in at the top, which is right here, you would have lost horribly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing here. Well, hold on. Right. Let's see. All right. If you saw your indicator down here, even though nothing matches up, if you took that indicator, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won. If you would have, yeah, if you saw that indicator, but it didn't match up, so you probably wouldn't even take that trade. Even if you use this shit as confirmation, you would have lost that trade too. But look how close the lines are. Look how cluttered everything is, and it's a small little market, so don't fuck with it. You're pretty much using your judgment with this thing, bruh. But then if you come over here on the new trend, what happens? It's purple and red. You're like, oh shit. You look at your indicators and it's close to the Bollinger Bands, you know eventually it's gonna cross. So if you took that, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won. Now let's say you wait for the second candle, you see confirmation. Cause second candle, right? All of a sudden this turned red, that's still purple, and the trend's still down. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won that trade. Come right here. Indicators match up. 1, 2, 3, 4, you win trade. If you use confirmation, right? And you wait for that to close, you start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have lost that trade. So it's really just judgment calls, man. If you follow the indicators, most of the time you're in the money. If you don't follow the indicators and use the confirmation, most of the time you're in the money. If everything correlates, you're always in the money. Sometimes if you follow either order, you can't get fucked. But I will tell you one thing, you'll mainly get fucked when you're fucking with this sideways market. Like, look at that activity and look how cluttered the lines are. That's shitty. But all of a sudden, when there's decent gaps, look what happens. Now, if you follow your indicator, everything matches up. 1, 2, 3, 4, you win. Use a second candle for confirmation. Come to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, you win. Still an uptrend. You see, hey, that's a decent gap. It's red and purple. Still says a downtrend. Shit doesn't match up, but you're like, I'll consider it. Look at confirmation. So you go right here, still downtrend. All right, coming at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have lost that trade because you traded with the trend. So sometimes you win, or most of the time you win. Sometimes you do lose though, but most of the time you lose when you see these shitty ass market. So let's go to hour right quick. Same thing. Hour, you count 3 to 4 hours. I even said that. So you said hour charts take 3 to 4 hour trade in that direction. Judgment call, okay? So let's look. Also, if you follow the indicators, 1, 2, 3, you would have won. 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won. If you use confirmation, so use this. You see this, it's green and blue. All right, then, wait for second candle. You see it passed the yellow, this one closes, you're like, all right, then, it's confirmed. I'm gonna trade in that direction. 1, 2, 3, you would have won. 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won. So come up here. It's purple and green, don't trade. It's blue and green, don't fuck with it. Just wait for the true trend to change. Just wait for the true trend, all right? So as soon as you see that purple and red is confirmed, look what happens. All your indicators match up. So you would have started up here because the indicators match up. 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won. All right? Let's see this. So if you waited, if you didn't follow the indicators, use second candle. Wait for that shit to confirm. Downtrend? Oh shit. Okay, take that trade at the top. So be 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won that trade. Now you know the trend's in a downtrend. And here's how you know where the true trend's gonna be. The bigger the swoop on that yellow line, that lets you know where the trend's going. Because the yellow is the ultimate trend. And this follows. It doesn't switch as quick as the greens and reds do. And the blues and purples don't switch as both of those, the green and red and the blue and purple don't switch as fast as the yellow does. So the bigger the swoop on the yellow, that's the true trend. When the yellow's kind of like in a little movement, trend's not going to be that much. This right here, it's going to swoop eventually. It's still going down, but it's going to swoop eventually. Now look at this. The lines are still purple. This is red. It's going to go on the Bollinger Band soon, right? So this is green. Currently, it's green and blue. If it confirms and hits that yellow, you know, over the next 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours, it's going to go up. And after this hour closes, if this matches and that turns white, you know that for a fact. Now, if you go, what is this? What did I say, 2 hour or 4 hour? 2 hour charts, all right? 4 hours. So let's look at that real quick, and then we'll end this webinar. So we go here, 2 hours. All right, same shit. Same shit. That's a high, right? Okay. This one right here, but it's red and purple. This one right here confirms the downtrend, plus hit my yellow line. You see that big swoop? You see that gap? Further away this one, the yellow's gonna have a harder incoming. So right here, you count 4 candles because 2 times 4 is 8. And look at your indicators. Everything matched up. Let you know. All right, I'm gonna take my shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won that trade. Let's look. More examples. So colors are all fucked up. Indicators showed 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won that trade. But if you use the greens and blues and you just follow that shit, so it would be that's green and blue, but you want to confirm with 1 more candle. All right, shit confirms. So you're like, all right, I'm gonna count my 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of a sudden, you win that trade. Coming up here, if you see this, your indicators match up, and you know it's gonna come in a Bollinger Band soon. Plus, dojis represent reversals. It's a doji, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won that trade. Now, after that doji forms, you know it's a for sure doji. Let's say you came in at the top of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won that trade. And that confirmed. Well, no. If you would have took the trade on that one, that confirmed. But as soon as it forms, let's say you did this. So you're like, all right, it formed. I'm going to come in at the top of the trade. So you go, what is this? This is 95.42. Because the price always shows over here. So that is 95.42. Count your 4 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 95.42. You would have tied that trade by counting. But then look what happens. Your indicator just turned purple down here. So you're like, fuck it. I'm going to take a downtrend. Plus that yellow is still going in that direction anyways. So you're like, all right, 4 more candles. 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won that trade big time. Come down here, look at your indicators. It's outside the bands, you know it's going to curve. This white line, you know it's going to be like that for a bit. Plus the candle's going up. Because replication occurred in the size. It's going to hit my yellow line. So I'm like, oh shit, this might be a perfect time to take that trade. Plus I look at my indicators. 1, 2, 3, 4, I would have won. Now if you did this, second candle confirmation all the way up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, you still would have won. So you can use this method on all charts, bro. Like all charts. Even if you look at a 4 hour chart, 4 hour candle, it's all the same shit, bro. Indicators start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, you're gonna win. If you use confirmation, 1, 2, 3, in another, what is that, like 8 hours or 5 hours? I can guarantee you it's not gonna come up that high. And if it did, you'd probably tie more than anything, because I doubt it's gonna pass that 95.34, even if that is a doji. Okay, so what is this? Indicator showed on the bottom. Plus it's a doji. 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won. On that doji, you could have been like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won. If you started up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have lost that shit. Your indicators turn white, and that's a doji. Dojis mean imminent reversals, so coming at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hold on, where? 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have lost that shit. But if I would have used the second one as confirmation, because it's a blue and green at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have won. It's also sideways market. Look at that, sideways market. So overall, if we go over everything that we just looked at, right, on all the charts, sideways market fucks up your trades. The bigger the hills and the valleys, right? Count the candles, you'll win. If you use confirmation, you can win. If you use dojis to let you know reversals are going to happen, you can win and you can lose. Because you would have came in at the top after that form, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could have lost that shit. Confirmation, second candle, 1, 2, 3, 4. You would have won. If you follow the indicators, you can win. You can lose, bro. Like all this shit, when it correlates and when there's bigger hills and valleys, you can win. But for the most part, just confirming with the second candle and coming in at the top, you can pretty much use that and win. Now, if your indicators match up with your confirmation, then you're pretty much in the money. But look right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have won. Second candle confirmation come at the top. This would have been an indicator win because it's green, green, white's pretty much uptrend, so that's green. So when everything matches up, you're straight. Everything matches up, you're straight. If you confirm with the second candle, you're usually straight. You follow the indicators, straight. The bigger the hills and the valleys, you're straight. But it's all pretty much judgment, dog. Using your judgment, your intuition. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Let's see. All right, green and blue. Use the second one as confirmation. Closers coming at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. I win. Red and purple. Right? I'm using the second one as confirmation. Look what happens. The indicators match up with my second one as soon as it confirms. Still a purple and red trend. I'm going in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I win. Let's go over here. All right. Blue and green. Okay. I'm like, my indicator started right here. So if I would have followed the indicator, 1, 2, 3, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, I would have won. If I came in right after the indicator started, on the candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, I would have won. If I use confirmation on this trade, yeah, if I use confirmation's trade and waited for that to close, I would have started all the way up here. So what is that? 97.35 on the right side of the screen, or whatever. No? I think yes, 97.35. 1, 2, 3, 4. $97.35. That would have been a tie. So what's the one thing that we've noticed mainly on this webinar so far? When you use these methods, you will more than likely win and or tie. Yes, you do lose sometimes, but you win and or tie more than anything. And if you see sideways market, just don't fucking trade and you should be straight. Like for real, but just using this counting candle method, you're straight. Now, if you just follow the gaps, and as soon as, and here's another thing too, man. Here's another thing you notice as far as entry points. If you don't want to confirm every single time, but your indicators show that it's going in that uptrend, then as soon as that candle grows and hits that yellow line, trade in that direction. Like use that yellow line as your entry point. Just look what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna win. Because once it crosses that yellow line, it's usually going in that direction anyways. So when it hits that yellow line, then take your trades. These lines are all cluttered, so don't trade on those. But let's look. Then those lines are really cluttered. All right, so I came here. So I see purple and red. I see this going down. It hits my yellow line. I'm going in. 1. So I use the rest of this time expiry. So it still counts as 1, 2, 3, 4. I want my trade. Right here, hits my yellow line. Going in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the lines get cluttered. I don't fuck with it. All right, so this up here. What is this? All right, my indicators all of a sudden showed markets going in reversal. It's outside of Bollinger Bands, and my bottom one's purple line. So hit my yellow line, I'm gonna be like, all right, fuck it. Hit my yellow line, I'm gonna go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, I win. If I waited, that next one, and it's on the other side of the yellow line, 1, 2, 3, 4, I win. So it's really judgment call. But that's why I say the better the gaps, the better the swoops, the better your trades. Because right here, the lines are so close together, how can you really tell when it hits the yellow line? Let's look at Turbo's charts. One more second, all right? Do the same thing. We go for those yellow lines, which is overall trend. So right here, big ass swoop. Actually, like we'll start up here. Matter of fact, no, we'll start before. This looks good right here. All right, swoops, right? I see this. It replicated instantly. Plus, this was red and purple. This one confirmed the trend. I'm going that direction. This one right here hits my yellow line. I'm going in. So that's, matter of fact, well, if it goes up here and confirm the trend, I would have won it anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have hit it. If I hadn't hit it yet, I'm gonna hit my yellow line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have won. My yellow line. And even this, look at the pips right here, right? So my yellow line was, hold up, it was in this area. That pretty much matches with this. So I would have either barely won or I would have either barely lost or tied if I came in at that yellow line. My entry point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a win. But if I waited, if my expiry was too long, if I took a full 5-minute expiry at that point, I would have been screwed because it would have ended up here. Because it would have finished this couple seconds of that, and then it would have ended while this thing is forming. Now I would have barely won that shit because it closed up here. So if it was up here and it pulled back when my expiry ended, I would have lost. But if it was still forming, then I would have been straight and I would have won. So that one really just depends. But if you use the confirmation method, you would have been straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you win. If you hit that entry point, you would have barely won or you would have lost. That's close. The same shit right here. So you go here. Hits my yellow line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll win. Even this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I took a long expiry, I still would have won because I came in at my yellow line. Plus my indicators matched up. Hits my yellow line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I win. Now, you take 5 minutes because you're doing turbos. So it doesn't just close. It depends on the time frame you choose. It's still going down. I would have won. If you use confirmation on the second candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, win. Blue and green hits my yellow line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I win. If I waited for confirmation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would have lost. This one matched with my indicators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would have won. So like I said, judgment call. But if it hits those yellow lines and you just trade based on the yellow lines, that could be another method you use. If you don't want to follow these indicators, follow those. Follow the confirmations. Follow when it hits the yellow line and go in. Win that trade. This hits yellow line right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Win that trade. What else? Hit my yellow line right here. All of a sudden, the indicators start. Now, if I confirm trend, this is green and blue. Still green and blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. So these is just kind of different ways to look at this thing. It's red and purple. Still red and purple. Here's my yellow line. Plus my indicators just started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have won. Wait for the extra expiry to finish. 6. I would have won. So play around with this method. And if you guys don't already have this set up, I can help you set up your HMA. But this follows the trend. The candle counting method, I can post up the guidelines as well. Just count the candles and you'll be straight, bro. I'd say this method works 90 to 95% of the time if you trade at the top of each interval, meaning whenever your candle closes, you take that trade. If you're wondering how I came up with this information and look at your charts, you should be able to see the trend. It's right in front of your face. What did we just do? I just showed you guys various ways on how to confirm your trend. If you trade in that direction, you're gonna win. If it hits your yellow line in other scenarios, you're gonna win. If your indicators match up and you take that trade, you're gonna win. I just showed you more wins than losses. I think it's safe to say that you can see profit if you use this method and just do exactly what I just told you. Don't fuck with sideways markets. And if you do, you know that's at your own risk. Hit the yellow line right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it ends right above. I win. It's my yellow line that's on a downtrend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still underneath my yellow line. I win. But if there's a couple extra 30 seconds on your trade, if this would have closed, you would have lost. If this shot up while your expiry was going, you would have lost. But on the pullback that it had, you would have won. So that's that iffy trade right there because it's a double wick. And if you would have confirmed that trade, you'd really lost. And in the middle of that confirmation right here, look what happens, man. It confirmed it was a downtrend right here, which it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would have lost. All of a sudden, the indicator switched up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would have won. So that lets you know another thing too. If it was an uptrend, and all of a sudden it turns purple, and you took that trade, you're like, oh shit, right? Right, shit. I caught that. This would be a good time to go in because the indicator changed, right? But then it switches white again. You could just take that because the true trend is white. Look at all these small ass red little purple little candles. It was switching, but the true trend's been white all along because it's been an uptrend. So when you see it switch white, trade in that direction, you're more likely going to win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would win. It's uptrend this entire time because the trend is going up. Now, if you see long ass purple lines, then look at this because the true trend is going purple, right? So look at this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would have won. Still purple all the way down. It goes white briefly, but then it goes back purple, and then it goes white again for the long haul because the long trend was going up. Then the long purple going down. And this lets you know where the hell the trend is moving. If you see little gaps like that, follow the true trend. Like take that shit, but if it goes white again, then take that shit. And if it's a long ass purple, then you know, all right, then it's gonna go right back down for the long haul. But again, this is judgment, man. This is all judgment. And you'll see a pattern if you just keep following it. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, hit me up. I can go over this some more with you, but it's pretty self-explanatory, and this works on all charts. I just showed you how to do this on Turbo by counting candles. You're not even a trading genius right now. You're just counting candles. If you do that, you're pretty much straight. Just don't mess with sideways markets because look at this. Small-ass candles. And the smaller these Bollinger Bands are, small-ass candles. It's hard to trade. It's hard to get a good entry point on small candles. But the bigger the Bollinger Bands like this, look at that. Small candles is good pit movement. So pay attention to your indicators, pay attention to this candle counting method, pay attention to your HMAs, and always confirm the trends. Because once you confirm the trend, trade in that direction. You trade with the trends, you're straight. First candle, second candle, confirms coming in third, hits my yellow line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I win. And it's outside the Bollinger Bands. All of a sudden it turns white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I win. Hits my yellow line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extra timing, right? I win. Up here, my indicators. You know it's come towards the Bollinger Bands. It's purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I win. Everything's red, meaning downtrend. I come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I win. What happens when everything's green? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I win. Everything's green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I win. What I mean by everything's green is the indicators match up. Red indicators match up. It's red, purple, red, red. Green, white, green, green. Everything matches up, you're gravy. Don't match up, don't fucking trade. Simple as that. So anyways, that's that. That's the candle counting method along with the HMA. I tweaked the HMA so you can get your trends better. If you still don't know about body wick space and replication, I have the webinar on that so you guys can see that. Look at this right here. This confirmed the downtrend and it hit that white line. If you saw that white line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one's not going to go higher than that. You're going to win. Look at this. All of a sudden it's green, but the purple line started. Let's say I took that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Next two candles have to go higher than this. Then I would have won. Now, if this confirmed, I would have came in right here. That's the doji, and dojis usually mean imminent reversals. Look what happens. That green line appeared. So all of a sudden it's thinking, oh shit, I think I want to come up. But it's pretty much safe to say, as this thing's forming, this could still go up. Let's see. If I would have came in right here, or if I would have came in the indicator, 1, 2, 3, 4, that means there'd be 2 more candles. So this and then another minute, and we'd see if I won. And if I would have came after the confirmation, then I would have been up here. So let's wait 2 more minutes to see if I would have been right on those trades. And after that, I end the webinar. It's kind of funny because we thought that was going to be a doji, and it hadn't even closed yet. And look what happened. Decided it didn't want to be a doji. That's why you wait for those candles to finish forming, because you might think the trend changed, but because the candle hadn't closed yet, you really don't really know if the trend had really changed. So look at that. I came in at the yellow part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would have won. If I came in when the indicators popped up, and I knew this was going to cross to the Bollinger Bands along with the purple. If I came in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look how far down it is. Do you think that's going to reverse in the next 30 seconds and come higher than this? Probably not. Ten more seconds. There you go. All of a sudden, a new candle is going to form right now. So let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would have won that trade. If I came in after the confirmation, because that's the second candle, we would have started right here. Now look at this. All my indicators match up. Red, 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 purple line. Would have started right here. So after this next minute, that green candle has to go higher than this for me to have lost. Five seconds. Would have won that trade too. So that would have been 3 good entry points, and those would all been wins. 1, 2, 3. I would have won all three of those scenarios. Hits my yellow line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 /6. Would have won. Right here, indicator shows up on the bottom, purple line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would have won. If I waited for the second candle, which is this, it's confirmation. So I start at the top of the third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have won. Market's still going down. You know why? Because that yellow's in a swoop down. So that's the end of this webinar. If you have any questions, ask me anything you want to know. Try this out for yourself. Follow the trends and look at your market, and you'll see this on any chart. It's always 100% on. I'm saying 90, 95% guarantee you'll win using this shit. And that's funny. That's a little reversal pattern. We have that on the candle pattern sheets. So, all right, guys. I hope you guys all have a great day. Take care, and happy trading, everybody.